Hello. I've gotten messaged a few times by people asking me kind of what my process was whenever I was doing the vocal processing for Transformers Combaticons. And two of my friends, Siley and Eli, also suggested that I should do a little how-to video just to kind of show off the processing chains that I use to get the different effects that I got. So bear with me. I've never made a how-to video, so I'm just explaining it. This is what I got. If you have any questions, leave a comment and I will try my best to answer them. So I've already kind of turned off all of my written automation just so it's easier to like enable, disable, all of this kind of stuff. So for Swindle, this is kind of what we ended up with him sounding like.
Oops. Sorry. Jeez. They are making spaceships so touchy these days. I, for one, love it here. Most of the stuff I sell is salvaged from landfill planets like this one.
So you can see there's orange tracks, then there's like salmon tracks, and it kind of repeats for each of the characters. Basically, the way I have it set out is this is my dry track, and below it is my effects track. You can't just have an affected track because then you're not going to understand the character, and no one likes that. So here we go. This is what it sounds like with just the dry track.
Oops. Sorry. Jeez. They are making spaceships so touchy these days. I, for one, love it here. Most of the stuff I sell is salvaged from landfill planets like this one.
And here is the effect only track.
Oops. Sorry. Jeez. They are making spaceships so touchy these days. I, for one, love it here. Most of the stuff I sell is salvaged from landfill planets like this one.
So his effect isn't too wild and crazy. Basically, if we're looking at these individually, for the dry track, I have a couple EQs going on, which, you know, in the heat of the moment, it helped a lot having the two different EQs because then I could really like go, okay, here's my general, and then okay, here's more of like my focused thing. I was also working alongside the chain that I have going on for the effect channel, and that'll kind of make more sense as I get over there. But basically, yeah, if you have no dry, it's going to feel kind of like more roomy and not really as present, and that would make it feel sort of off compared to the other characters. Even though Swindle's dialogue is pretty okay with just the affected, it just wouldn't have that same kind of presence. And then if we take a look... If we take a look at my processing chain for the affected track, you can see I have a bunch of stuff going on here. I have an EQ just to begin with. There were certain frequencies I for sure wanted to dip out from just the bass dialogue that I had. So if you want to take a listen to what the bass was before I started EQing it.
Oops. Sorry. Jeez. They are making spaceships so touchy these days.
So there you go. Turn these back on. We get this.
Oops. Sorry. Jeez. They are making spaceships so...
So if we take a look at the effects track here, we go layer by layer, you can kind of hear what I added. So first thing is this EQ band, and I just kind of scooped out a little bit down here and added a little bit here, and then still pulled down just kind of like the S's and the T's. So it's pretty subtle.
Oops. Sorry. Jeez, they are making spaceships so touchy these days. Oop.
Then this is pretty near imperceptible. I copied this over from the first episode of Combaticons, and it was more noticeable over there. But I decided not to make it too heavy this time around. But this is a frequency shifter. It shifts it down just a tiny bit.
Oops. Sorry. Jeez, they are making spaceships so touchy these days.
It's not super big, but it is helpful, especially with like processing later down the chain. We got a flanger.
Oops. Sorry. Jeez, they are making spaceships so touchy these days.
And you can kind of hear the going. That's flanger for you. Got a resonator.
Oops. Sorry. Jeez, they are making spaceships so touchy these days.
I added a little bit of trash. I think, yeah, just a bodybuilder.
Oops. Sorry. Jeez, they are making spaceships so touchy these days.
And that adds like a little bit more to the metallic resonance of it. Then I did a compressor, and I kind of pulled up the low end and the middle, and I pulled back the mid-lows and some of the highs.
Oops. Sorry. Jeez, they are making spaceships so touchy these days.
A DS, because it is a little bit harsh, especially with bumping up some of the higher stuff.
Oops. Sorry. Jeez, they are making spaceships so touchy these days.
And a little bit of reverb.
Oops. Sorry. Jeez, they are making spaceships so touchy these days.
And then one more EQ to kind of bump up just a couple of frequencies I think help.
Oops. Sorry. Jeez, they are making spaceships so touchy these days.
So one of the reasons that I do have kind of like this double EQ going on is because with the flanger, some of the higher frequencies get kind of wonky if I don't have it.
Oops. Sorry. Jeez, they are making spaceships so touchy these days.
And you can hear like, yeah, we definitely don't want that. So yeah, that's Swindle.
Oops. Sorry. Jeez, they are making spaceships so touchy these days.
And next, we have Vortex. Let's find something where she speaks a little bit longer. She doesn't have very many lines in Wrath of the Junkions, which is unfortunate, but that's all right. So here we go. This is Vortex.
Speaking as someone who's led 27 cults, I'm pretty sure this is definitely a cult.
So if we want to take listen to her dry, I actually didn't need to do much besides just actually clean out the dialogue and kind of, EQ, compress, all that kind of stuff.
Speaking as someone who's led 27 cults, I'm pretty sure this is definitely a cult.
And her processed channel.
Speaking as someone who's led 27 cults, I'm pretty sure this is definitely a cult.
Cool. So again, I was fortunate. I didn't feel that like I really needed to do anything with this dry track. It was good as is. So again, starting from just dry, right? So
Speaking as someone who's led 27 cults, I'm pretty
cool, dry. So I had just a slight EQ to see where I kind of wanted to bump stuff up so that the processing can kind of grab onto it.
Speaking as someone who's led 27 cults, I'm pretty sure this is definitely a cult.
So lowering kind of like the T's here and the low lows, but bringing up some of like the mid lows. This is a little bit fatter. Then we have the DS, because it really needed it.
Speaking as someone who's led 27 cults, I'm pretty sure this is definitely a cult.
Then we get more into the fun stuff. I use a little altar boy here. And you can see I kind of have the pitch and the formant going up, and I quantized it.
Speaking as someone who's led 27 cults, I'm pretty sure this is definitely a cult.
Then we got a little vocal synth going on. And I kind of clicked around until I found a preset that I liked, and then I kind of configured it and ended up with this.
Speaking as someone who's led 27 cults, I'm pretty sure this is definitely a cult.
And honestly, I've been using the crap out of Manipulator lately, and this fit really well.
Speaking as someone who's led 27 cults, I'm pretty sure this is definitely a cult.
Then you got another frequency shifter.
Speaking as someone who's led 27 cults, I'm pretty sure this is definitely a cult.
And effect rack, which I haven't looked in here in a while. Here we go. We just have a tremolator going on. You can see I tried using some Phase Mistress, but I wasn't a fan of how it sounded, but I kept it there just in case. So here's with the tremolator.
Speaking as someone who's led 27 cults, I'm pretty sure this is definitely a cult.
And so what this is doing is it's kind of just chopping it up here and there, I guess would be the simplest way of putting it. So every time this light flashes, that's when it's going. Trash on this one as well. I used Tinned Gate, Honk It Up.
Speaking as someone who's led 27 cults, I'm pretty sure this is definitely a cult.
And that kind of does the same thing that it did with Swindle. It feels a little bit more metallic and resonating. Oh, actually, let's actually hear it this time.
Speaking as someone who's led 27 cults, I'm pretty sure this is definitely a cult.
So that was for real that time. C4. You can see here, I don't really want too many lows. I kind of focused on the low mids, left the mids where they kind of were, and I didn't, because I already had to pull down the S and all of those kind of things, I really wanted to keep this down.
Speaking as someone who's led 27 cults, I'm pretty sure this is definitely a cult.
And then just a little bit of space reverb. I really liked this coal hood. I thought it added a lot.
Speaking as someone who's led 27 cults, I'm pretty sure this is definitely a cult.
Yeah. And so altogether, that's Vortex.
Speaking as someone who's led 27 cults, I'm pretty sure this is definitely a cult.
Then next, we have Blast Off. Again, someone that doesn't really have too many lines going on over here. So let's take a listen to this one.
So can I ask, why do you worship garbage?
So we take a listen to the dry channel. This is what he sounds like.
So can I ask, why do you worship garbage?
So there is some reverb to his dialogue, which honestly isn't all of that big a deal because it's going to be drowned out by pretty much every other thing, especially the music going on down here. And then again, you have the kind of like the processing here, and it kind of just takes care of itself. So if we go to just the effect here.
So can I ask, why do you worship garbage?
So again, I wasn't really too worried too much about the reverb in the dry dialogue, just because when it mixes with the effect and then again everything else going on, it sounds totally fine. So that being said, you can see here for the effect, I was really not liking like his S's and T's, so I just did a little EQ to help pull it down without doing any processing. You have your doubler, and actually, let me go ahead and do this again. So we have this. We got the doubler.
So can I ask, why do you worship garbage?
We have a chorus.
So can I ask, why do you worship garbage?
We have this granular synthesizer that I absolutely love and use on basically everything, almost, in my sound design.
So can I ask, why do you worship garbage?
So you can hear it kind of going bloop, 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 bloop. Again, Isotope Trash 2. I love this plugin. It just helps add that like metallic feel to it.
So can I ask, why do you worship garbage?
C4, again, kind of just focusing in on the different parts that I really want to crunch and the ones I really want to duck down.
So can I ask, why do you worship garbage?
We've got another de-esser. It de-esses things.
So can I ask, why do you worship garbage?
Another EQ. Again, kind of bringing it up here so you can really hear those reflections.
So can I ask, why do you worship garbage?
And then finally, a little bit of reverb. And again, I use Coal Hood because it just sounds really good.
So can I ask, why do you worship garbage?
And that is Blast Off.
So can I ask, why do you worship garbage?
Brawl. I love Brawl. I think everyone loves Brawl. So I have to find the line. Here we go.
I hope you die of vitamin deficiency.
I hope that he does die from vitamin deficiency. Let's see. So here we go. Dry.
I hope you die of vitamin deficiency.
So straight away, you can see that I thinned him up, and I kind of was doing a little roll off here because I noticed there was some kind of guck I didn't like.
I hope you die of vitamin deficiency.
We have kind of C4 again. I'm trying to bump up here because he does have a lot of low end naturally in his register. A little bit of extra compression here, and then a de-esser. And if we go to the wet channel.
I hope you die of vitamin deficiency.
Yeah, I loved the idea of him being like this gigantic robot and just like this big thick boy, but then kind of having like an almost like regular kind of sounding voice. And I feel like this is as close to just like a regular robot voice you can get to. So if we turn off all this stuff, again, here's our dry.
I hope you die of vitamin deficiency.
Add a little bit of manipulator, tractor, because that man is a tractor.
I hope you die of vitamin deficiency.
That kind of adds like really nice low end to it. Got a chorus. Ooh.
I hope you die of vitamin deficiency.
Added a chorus. We added another doubler.
I hope you die of vitamin deficiency.
This time it's like higher up. Our BFF trash here.
I hope you die of vitamin deficiency.
Starting to sound robot-y. Again, C4. You can see I did the low mids here. I kind of bumped everything up a little bit here.
I hope you die of vitamin deficiency.
And I'm going to EQ. I kind of cut down these subs. Brought down some of the brought up some of the mid-lows and the mids. There was a reflective sound here that I didn't like, so I ducked it a little bit, and then I gave it like a little bit of a crispness to it up here on the higher end.
I hope you die of vitamin deficiency.
And then I de-essed it just in case there's any of that frequency popping back up.
I hope you die of vitamin deficiency.
And you can see it just kind of pulled it down -2 there. So that's Brawl.
I hope you die of vitamin deficiency.
Onslaught was also kind of like interesting. I wanted him to sound like he was behind a mask, but also super present and just kind of like growly all the time. So for the most part, his dry dialogue is pretty dry. It looks like the only thing I have on there is a de-esser. And I know this part has kind of like an effect to it. I guess we can use it anyway. All right. Hold on.
Swindle, we have had enough of you! You are the reason we are surrounded by this filth. I hate you. I hate junk. I hate garbage!
So, again, he's just normal.
You are the reason we are surrounded by this filth. I hate you. I hate junk. I hate garbage!
And you can hear it's kind of clipping a little bit, but again, that's hidden once we add the effects and have everything else introduced into the scene. There's also a ping pong delay that happens as the camera zooms out and it kind of holds on garbage. So he's like, I hate garbage! And then goes back in and kind of stops it. You're not going to hear any of that clipping is basically my point. So then if we're listening to just the processing.
Swindle, we have had enough of you! You are the reason we are surrounded by this filth.
So you get the idea, like, again, is very similar to Swindle. Like, I could kind of just have it by itself without having that dry track, but that dry track is going to help bring it kind of the same presence as the rest of the characters going on. So, again, on my effects track, this is We Are Dry.
Swindle, we have had enough of you!
I add a chorus.
Swindle, we have had enough of you! You are the reason we are surrounded by this filth. I hate you.
You can kind of hear it adding a little bit more. Then we have the doubler.
You are the reason we are surrounded by this filth. I hate you. I hate junk. I hate garbage!
Trash, again, because I like it. It's just really great.
You are the reason we are surrounded by this filth. I hate you. I hate junk. I hate garbage!
And we have a little EQ. So it felt like it was taking out too much on the low end, and in the mids it looks like, so I brought those up so you can hear more of the reflections.
You are the reason we are surrounded by this filth. I hate you. I hate junk. I hate garbage!
And it looks like kind of after this, it's pretty, here's our de-esser, here's our C4, which you can see I focused more on the low mids and kind of the regular mids, bumped up the low end a little bit, and then our friend Colehood makes another appearance.
You are the reason we are surrounded by this filth. I hate you. I hate junk. I hate garbage!
And that's Onslaught.
Swindle, we have had enough of you! You are the reason we are surrounded by this filth. I hate you. I hate junk. I hate garbage!
And just to kind of show you what I was talking about before with that delay.
You are the reason we are surrounded by this filth. I hate you. I hate junk. I hate garbage!
It's a little smoother, actually, like, against everything else, but you get the idea. And then last but not least, this time I got to do some fun stuff with Wreck-Gar. Let's see. Now, sometimes Manipulator has this weird thing where I have this effect called shimmer, and it doesn't always actually playback for whatever reason. So every time I go to play Wreck-Gar, I have to reset it. So I just kind of remember what it is at this point. All right. So that's a sneak peek. So here's Wreck-Gar.
Promises will be done when garbage rains from the skies of planets far and wide. The universe will bow to its power or be destroyed.
So this is another instance of one that didn't need any kind of processing on the dry track.
Promises will be done when garbage rains from the skies of planets far and wide.
So you get the idea. And then when we come to just the effects track.
Promises will be done when garbage rains from the skies of planets far and wide. The universe will bow to its power.
So first off, you could kind of see everything kind of going on down here. But the idea I had for this was I wanted to kind of tap into how they did the vocal processing for the 86 film, but I think they went a little bit too far on that, and is actually kind of physically painful to listen to a lot of the time, in my opinion. Not that it's bad, but I'm like, all right, I want to do like an homage, but I don't want to destroy everyone's ears. So I will actually go ahead and turn these off because we don't use them. So here we go.
Promises will be done.
So that's our effects track with nothing on it. And then we have a pitch shifter here.
Promises will be done when garbage rains from the skies of planets far and wide.
So you can hear already a lot of heavy lifting is done. We're adding in that shimmer from Manipulator.
Promises will be done when garbage rains from the skies of planets far and wide.
So you can hear it's kind of giving it that little like shimmery kind of fun effect in your ears almost. And I really like that. I thought it felt very reminiscent to 86. And then speaking to add on to that, we have Filter Freak. So you can see right here, it's kind of just messing with the filtering. And then you get this.
Promises will be done when garbage rains from the skies of planets far and wide.
So you can hear it's kind of going, and it has almost that like whippiness that Wreck-Gar had in the 86 film. And then Tremolator again to kind of help add on to that. And you can see how fast it's going to go if you look at this mod light here.
Promises will be done when garbage rains from the skies of planets far and wide.
So now you can really hear it a lot more. Outside of that, I mean, same thing. We have our compressor. You can see I'm kind of really crunching on some stuff, but it's not really any different than the other ones. DS, because this character was very SE.
Promises will be done when garbage rains from the skies of planets far and wide. The universe will bow to its power.
Just like pulling down -2 on the S's like every 3 seconds. Then here, kind of wanted to get some of these frequencies to get focused and really like kicked through among everything else. And then our friend Trash on the end to kind of help wrap it up and make it feel complete.
Promises will be done when garbage rains from the skies of planets far and wide.
And then, yeah, that's Wreck-Gar.
Promises will be done when garbage rains from the skies of planets far and wide. The universe will bow to its power or be destroyed.
Yeah, and if we kind of turn everyone on again here. I'm sure there's like a universal shortcut that I don't know for all of this. I think I've tried it before, but then it kind of messed everything up and I cried. So, with all of that...
That wasn't Primus.
At least I knew the fake religions I started were fake.
The Federation started using this planet as a disposal ground. There are dump ships in orbit.
Lies! Your slander of trash is a symptom of a larger cause.
Yeah. Robot voices, let's go. I'm gonna do more of those. But yeah, if anything doesn't make sense or you'd like to hear something more elaborated on or any kind of general questions, just let me know. Thanks. Bye.